What to brew? Perfect. Hey everyone, Matt from Untitled TG here, and are you ready for my first Ravnica Allegiance brew? I know we're not fully spoiled yet, there's only a few cards to go, but I just couldn't wait. This set is so exciting, and I wanted to give you my first brew. And as if you couldn't tell by the start of the video, it's blue-white flyers. Now we're not going down the normal, I've seen blue-white flyers before, they've been very aggro, a bit like white weenie decks, where there have been a lot of 1-drops, you know, a few 2-drops. This is more of a mid-rangey, stronger deck for me, because there's so many powerful new cards that have come from Ravnica Allegiance that I just couldn't leave them out. And a lot of these are flyers as well, and we've got some new angels. This deck, I think, could really do very, very well. So, without further ado, let's start looking at the creatures that we've got in our blue-white flyers deck. Starting off with a Healer's Hawk. Healer's Hawk is a 1-1 flying lifelink, great early play, comes down as a 1-1. You know we're going to be running the enchantment favourable wind, so obviously this could obviously pump up this, as well as the rest of our creatures as well, because they're all flyers of course. Healer's Hawk is a great turn 1 play for us. Siren Stormtamer is in there as well. This is a 1-1. but has the great ability of being able to sacrifice it to counter target spell or ability that targets a creature we control or us. Now this is, you know, pretty essential. I completely forgot about this card when I was brewing, thinking for some reason it had rotated out, but obviously it hadn't. Siren Stormtamer, you know, could be up to 4. So I'm gonna test it out, see how much we actually need that protection. But Siren Stormtamer for me comes in. It's there for defense, really, as in you know, using the ability. It might get the few early attacks in, which would be very nice. But having that protection there by just having that 1 blue mana, it's, you know, it's pretty cool. So next up we have Warkite Marauder. Now, I've really been wanting to play this card ever since it was spoiled, but it just doesn't see any play. But I think in blue-white flyers, considering, you know, you've got to look at some of the other creatures in the format that this could, you know, we're flying creatures. Sometimes ours are going to be a little bit smaller because there is some big ones in the format. You know, Doom Whisperer, Dream Eater, obviously pretty prevalent as well. But if we can shrink them down to 0-1s when we're attacking, this will be really good for us. You know, a Healer's Hawk being able to kill a Doom Whisperer. How cool is that? I mean, it's just really cool. So Warkite Marauder is in there as a 3-of. Kinjalli Sunwing, that was always played in the old blue-white flyers deck. It's great, it's 2/3 stats, 2 and a white. When the creatures your opponents come into play, they come in tapped. So helps us a little bit with early play aggro and basically just stopping people attacking us. You know, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Kinjalli Sunwing in there as a 3-of. Resplendent Angel, see, we've got lots of great flyers. This is a 3/3 flyer. Beginning of each end state, if you gain 5 or more life, create a 4/4 white angel. Now, we might be able to do this. We might be able to pump it up. You know, we're not a dedicated life gain decks. You know, we're not be gaining life all the time. We've got Healer's Hawk that obviously can do it as well. And we're going to have a Lyra Dawnbringer later that you'll see in a second. But you can still pay the 3 and triple white for this to give it lifelink to end of turn. So potentially sometimes you will get that white angel. Pumping these all up with favourable wins, you know, they're going to be big, you know, could be a 4/4 flying it. It's going to be really cool. Could be making 5/5, 6/6s if we've got a couple of those favourable wins on the battlefield. You can see this will have a lot of evasion, this deck, and we could be making some huge flying creatures. Shalai, Voice of Plenty, all the protection we need in that creature there. Planeswalkers we control, we're only going to run one that you'll see very soon. One of the new ones from Ravnica Allegiance. And this will obviously give us all our creatures hexproof and us as well. Really nice. We got green now. This is what I did ask. I asked on Twitter about this as well. I like doing Twitter polls because it helps me when I'm brewing and, you know, but what people think I'm crazy doing stuff. But I wanted to add obviously the green mana in this. This is blue-white. We're not running anything green other than this ability. So we've got lands that will tap for obviously blue, white and green. Just a few because occasionally we might be able to put the 1/1 counter on each creature we control. We might as well have it. We might as well have it and use it. If it doesn't affect us too badly, you know, we might as well have the chance to use that ability. Lyra Dawnbringer is in there as a 2 of as well. This will pump up all our angels. It's flying, first strike, lifelink, 5/5 stats. Absolutely amazing, Lyra Dawnbringer. This is just a, you know, this can help us with the lifelink, potentially interact with Resplendent Angel as well. It's got the 5 life in 1 attack from Lyra, so obviously it could trigger Resplendent Angel, which will be really, really good. Going to some new creatures now. We got the Sphinx of Foresight. Oh, I love this. It's blue as well. 4/4 for 4 mana. You may reveal this card from your opening hand. If you do, scry 3 at the beginning of your first upkeep. That is amazing. But what's also good, obviously it's 4/4 stats, which is pretty decent for a 4 mana flyer. It also has the ability of beginning of your upkeep, scry 1. So it has that Thassa effect. Oh, absolutely amazing. Will help us go through our cards, find what we need. Does die to Lava Coil, unfortunately, and a few other spells in the format, but how could you not have it in there? This is going to see a fair bit of playing standard. Sphinx of Foresight is in there as a 3 of. Also going to see play potentially in, control decks, so you don't be surprised if you see it from me, quite often. Angel of Grace, flash, flying, 5/4 stats, 3 double white. When it enters the battlefield until end of turn, damage would reduce your life total to less than 1, reduces it to 1 instead. So it's a saviour card. It will come in when when those naughty red decks are coming in trying to lightning bolt you with their last spell. You can put this in there to save yourself and potentially get that attack in with Lyra or something like that to gain more life and get you back into a game. The 6, exile Angel of Grace from your graveyard and your life total becomes 10. So even when they kill it, as long as it doesn't get Vraska's Contempt or anything like that, if it's just, a general kill spell, you can do this from your graveyard and get your life total back up to 10, and that might be all you need to win the game. So let's get on to the spells now. As I've been speaking about all through the deck set so far, Favourable Winds is in there as a 4 of course. Creatures you control with flying get +1/1. This is our anthem effect. This is what we want. We want multiples of these on the field if you can get them. Just chuck them on there. It pumps up a Healer's Hawk, 1/1, 2/2, 3/3. Get that life gain. Siren Stormtamer gets a little bit bigger. Kinjalli, Resplendent Angel, you know what it does. It's going to pump everything up, make everything a lot bigger, and it's just going to help us win the game. Favourable Winds, essential card to the deck, which is why it's in there as a 4 of. New from the set of Ravnica Allegiance, this is where I think Dovan Grand Arbiter could actually shine. People are thinking, where to put it, where not to put it, but you think we're a flying deck, and if you have a look at what the abilities on it are, that +1 ability, we've got plenty of ways to trigger it, which means we're going to put those loyalty counters up on Dovan. The -1, create a 1/1 flying Thopter and you gain life, so it makes a flyer for us with Favourable Winds. These could be making 2/2s, 3/3s, and obviously a little bit of life gain as well that will help with Resplendent Angel potentially as well. And the -7, look at the top 10 cards of your library, put 3 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So that will help us. It's a recurring thing that you might be able to do. I'm not saying it's going to be easy to do because it is a -7. You've got to obviously get up, quite high from a 3 stat. But it's still there as an ability. But I like the +1 and obviously to build it up. And I like the -1 to make the Thopters as well. And it's a 3 mana. It fits into the 3 mana spot, I think, quite well. And as a 2 of, let's give it a try. Let's see what Dovan can do in this deck. So on to the final spells in the deck. We've got a 2 of Chemister's Insight. Draw 2 cards, has Jumpstart. You can have 2 of these because you're going to get to play it again as well. Really nice from your graveyard. I love Chemister's Insight. Really, really cool card. And then a couple more new cards from Ravnica Allegiance. We're going to play Depose, Deploy. Tap target creature, draw a card. Very nice for 2 instant speed mana. But also Deploy works so well with this deck for 4 mana instant speed. We create 2 colourless Thopter artifact creature tokens with flying, obviously, and you gain 1 life for each creature you control. So great interaction again, like I said, with Resplendent Angel, getting that trigger in, putting that in before the end step. I think this deck is going to work so well, boys and girls. The last cards in the deck, apart from the lands, are Warrant Warden, new from Ravnica Allegiance again. I just love this set. I'm putting so many of the new cards in here. Put target attacking or blocking creature on top of its owner's library. Very nice combat trick for us. And of course, the sorcery, make a 4/4 white and blue Sphinx with flying with vigilance. That just works perfectly with the deck as well. So Warrant and Warden, I found a great place for you. Blue-white flyers, you fit in there perfectly. So let's take a quick look at the land base now. Breeding Pool is in there as a 2 of, and we're going to have Hallowed Fountains in there as a 4 of, and we've got a 2 of Temple Garden. So we've got 4 lands that we can tap for the green, but they do tap for the other colours in the deck as well. But it's just in case we got that Shalai ability to use. Glacial Fortress is going to be in there, and as always, always chuck in a detection tower because of those naughty hexproof creatures. So before we get to the sideboard, you know the plan of this deck. It's flyers, it's evasion. We're going to be going over the top. It's not speedy aggro, but we've got, you know, early play creatures, Healer's Hawks, Siren Stormtamer, Warkite, Marauders. Kinjallis will tap them there, stopping those decks. Hopefully, if we can draw one of them, that might need to go up to 4 if the, you know, if the format gets really aggro, we might need to up that a little bit. We've got stuff in the sideboard that you can see that can help us, you know, early play and late play as well. But it's a nice, you know, it's a mid-rangey sort of deck. I feel it's a mid-rangey sort of deck because we've got a lot of 4 mana, 5 mana, stuff like that. And I just feel like it could be very powerful, guys. You know, late game, we've got late game, which is what you need. Sometimes in the, you know, I found in the blue-white deck, you go out and if you didn't all win, that was it. You know, you have 1-drops. All of a sudden, they're dropping huge creatures and you literally had no chance of getting the damage through. But with these creatures, you know, you're looking at the new ones like Angel of Grace, Sphinx of Foresight, and we've got Lyra, Shire. It's just, you know, we've got some big, powerful creatures there. And we've got Combat Tricks, Depose, Warrant and Warden and stuff like that. The deck, I think, will be strong. So we're going to get to the sideboard now. We've got a bit of a controlling theme in the sideboard because we are obviously Azorius. 2 of Negate. We want to, you know, we don't want them killing all our creatures. So we're going to need a bit of counter that we might need coming in from the side. We've also got a 3 of Quench, counter target spell unless its controller pays to. You know, it's a bit mana leaky to me. I like it. I'm putting it in there. Going to give it a try. And a great new reprint for us. Absorb is back. Helps us with life gain. You know, interaction with Resplendent, I've said that many times. This counters target spell for a white and 2 blue, and you gain 3 life. Just seems a great card. Invoke the Divine as well, destroy target artifact or enchantment, and you gain 4 life. I remember saying at the start of this video that it wasn't much of a life theme, but the more I actually look at my deck, I'm seeing a lot of gain life. So actually, it's going to work pretty well. Ixalan's Binding is there as well. Enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. We got that as a couple of. And also, great removal. Settle the Wreckage. Has to be in the sideboard. A 2 of that is going to help us against hexproof creatures. You know, the big green bad dudes of the format. Settle the Wreckage will help us with that. The last 2 cards in the sideboard that could quite honestly be in the main. I've ummed and ahed about this one a lot. It's United Stand. Now, I know you probably won't be able to read this card because I couldn't find any artwork for it, but it's a 2 and a white, instant speed, creatures you control gain indestructible to end of turn, and it also has the addendum, which is obviously one of the new mechanics. If you cast this spell during your main phase, you get to put a 1/1 counter on each of those creatures and they gain vigilance. You don't mind playing this in your main phase. I mean, that's, you know, it's not really a drawback because you get to pump your creatures and that might be all you need to get them through, and then they're indestructible. So let me know what you think. Should we try and make a couple of spaces in the main board for this? It's in the sideboard for now, and I just think it'd be a great addition to the deck potentially as well. So everyone, this is my first Ravnica Allegiance brew. What do you think? Let me know what you think. It's blue-white flyers. I think it's going to be very strong, and I can't wait to actually all the cards drop on MTGO, MTG Arena, everything like that. And hopefully I'll be able to get some gameplay as soon as possible so we can see just how good this deck will be. Any cards you want me to build around from this new set, chuck it in the comments. I really want to know. I'll always do brews that, you know, what my subs want me to try and build around. I will always try. Thanks for watching the video. If you're new to us, hit that subscribe button. It really does help the channel. And if you liked what you see today, you can hit the like button as well. That really does support us as well. Anyway, guys and girls, you lot take care, and I'll see you very soon on the next video.